Shawn Mendes is a singer and a songwriter from Canada who fell in love with music from a very young age. At the age of 14, he learned to play guitar by watching YouTube tutorial videos, and less than a year later, he started making covers of his favorite songs. He started his career by posting 6-second videos of him singing popular songs with his guitar on the social video app Vine. He attracted millions of followers in just a few months and became very popular. He soon started posting his own original melodies, and many young fans fell in love with his voice. In 2014, he was signed by Island Records. He has since released 3 studio albums and received many awards, but becoming famous at that age brought some struggles that he needed to overcome. Other kids at school started bullying him because they couldn't bear the fact that he was becoming famous so fast, so they wanted to make him feel like a joke, that he wasn't worthy of it. They tried to make him doubt himself. When I was starting to sing and post covers on Vine, there were definitely some really harsh comments and people that picked on me constantly. I just ignored it as much as I could. Even though that's really hard, I used it as a motivation to get better. I was bullied a lot actually when I was growing up, especially because I was a kid who played guitar and singing. But people who bully are people who are just weak-minded and kind of take their anger out on other people. And if you can get around that, you'll always be a stronger person for it. And you can kind of use that as a strength in your life. I remember there was one hallway every single day I'd walk through. And there would be a bunch of guys there, and they'll be like, "Oh, are you gonna sing for us?" And I remember it being the most embarrassing thing ever, and never understanding why people would think that it's fun to make fun of somebody who is doing something that they love. But it comes from their insecurity and their own fear of following their heart. So just remember that, truly at the end of the day, the only opinion that matters and the only thing that matters is what you think of yourself and how you feel about yourself. It's so important to keep that in mind, because I don't want to use myself as an example, but I will if I let those guys get into my head. They said, "It's stupid that you're doing this," and I believe them. I'd never be here today. I promise you, if you look at YouTube and see some of my first covers, you will hear that I don't sound good. But I was so obsessed with it and wanted so much to be good at it that I forced myself to figure out what sounds right and what sounds wrong. My advice to anyone with a dream is to never stop pursuing it. When he was at the top of his career and popularity, something inside of him just didn't feel right, because he is a person who loves what he does so much and doesn't want to fail his fans with his performance. Shawn Mendes opened up about his struggle with anxiety. It was something that hit me within the last year. Before that, growing up, I was a pretty calm kid, super steady. I knew people who had suffered from anxiety and found it kind of hard to understand. But then, when it hits you, you're like, "Oh my God, what is this? This is crazy." The more success that I get, the bigger the crowds get, the bigger the shows that are coming up get, the harder I feel I'm working every day to make sure that I deserve to be on that stage. He started going to therapy in order to help him deal with his anxiety and deal with his fame. I spoke to a therapist a couple of times. Therapy is what works for you. Climbing a mountain. Therapy is listening to music and running on the treadmill. Therapy is going to dinner with your friends. It's something that distracts you, that helps you heal. So it just depends on what you think therapy is. I made a conscious effort to be more connected to the people in my life. I found I was closing myself off from everybody, thinking that would help me battle it, then realizing the only way I was going to battle it was completely opening up and letting people in. He opened up to the world and described his struggles with his mental health in the song "In My Blood", in which he explains in details how it feels living with that condition. He sings, "Help me. It's like the walls are caving in. Sometimes I feel like giving up. No medicine is strong enough. Someone help me." He realized that he needed to be honest with himself and accept his battle with anxiety in order to overcome it. Make something as serious as anxiety tangible, where everybody can listen to it and either connect with it or understand it. All pain is temporary, and the thing is with anxiety and why it's such a hard thing for people who don't have it to understand is that it is very random and it hits you at moments you don't expect it. Sometimes it lasts 2 hours, sometimes it lasts a day, and sometimes it lasts 5 minutes. The point of the song is that no matter how long that lasts, you can come out of the other end stronger, and you can come out of the other end always. There are times when I'm super overwhelmed, and everything feels like it's hitting me in the face at once. But I think what's keeping me calm, and who I am by staying true to myself, is my whole family being so supportive and keeping me grounded. People forget how important it is to talk to your family and talk to your friends about what's going on in your life, because the more you tell people how you feel, the more you understand how you feel, and you have more control of your emotions. At one of his concerts, he opened up to his fans that he was taking a medicine in order to help his unbearable anxiety. As a performer, you get very nervous. Sometimes you freak out and things can become a lot for you. And there's a medicine and things you can do to help. And I meditate and I do a lot of things. There's a medicine called beta blockers. And basically it's a very calm medicine. But what it does, it slows your heart rate down. So you can be less stressed out and calm down and breathe. But nevertheless, it's medicine. And I want you guys to know that for the last year, I've been taking the medicine that's been slowing down my heart rate, so that I can be calm on stage. I want you guys to know because I think it's important you know it's my very first day back without that medicine. If you get nervous, it means you care. And I care about nothing more in the world than you guys. So that's why my hands shake. The motivational success story of Shawn Mendes showed us that he is a strong, humble, and honest young man who told the world that he suffered from anxiety because he wanted to help people who feel the same way. It doesn't matter if you're young or old, rich or poor. It can happen to anyone. So remember something. Nobody is born to be a loser, a failure, a person who gives up easily. Nobody. We become that person, but we could change that. You don't have to be that person forever. You don't have to make that your personality, because it isn't in your blood. So the most valuable thing that we can learn from Shawn Mendes' song, In My Blood, is that we all possess the power and the strength to not surrender to hopelessness, depression, to feeling lost and defeated. He shouts out that it isn't in his blood to give up. You possess that power too, and it's okay if it takes more time to get to that point. Whatever your experiences might be, maybe you faced rejections, failures, you have low self-esteem, your life is filled with hardships, and you wanted to surrender so many times. I want you to know that to say firmly, I would never give up, over and over again, and actually believe in it, it's a skill, and that skill can be learned and mastered. Don't be discouraged if you don't feel like that right now. You are not less stronger for that. You can learn that skill with time, so please don't be too hard on yourself. So what? Maybe you're not ready to shout out to the world how brave and strong you are right now, and that you will never give up. But you will be. So, shout out to the world that, hey, maybe I'm not ready yet. Maybe I feel discouraged, defeated, exhausted, and tempted to give up. But I will try my best to pick myself back up again and start over. I just need more time. I know you feel that not giving up is the toughest thing to do right now. But you will become that person. Because you know what? Giving up, it isn't in your blood. So, what's your story?